In the past, when a woman married, she was supposed to quit her job, go home and have lots of children and not be a professional. And the men, whether they wanted to or not, were going to have to keep working and support the family. Now there is a choice.
Born in 1919, before women had won the right to vote, Louise Ballerstedt, a farm girl from Manor, Texas, displayed her strong character and determination at an early age. Graduating valedictorian from Austin High School in 1936, she became the first in her family to go on to college. After college, she accepted a Rockefeller grant at the National Institute of Public Affairs in Washington, D.C., and garnered the distinction of being the first woman from Texas to be chosen for an internship in the national government. In 1941, while working for the National Youth Administration in Austin, she met her husband, Louise Raggio. But the war would soon separate them. With Greer serving overseas in the Pacific, Louise, now a new mother, stayed active working as a teacher and president of the League of Women Voters. After the war, Louise and Greer moved to Dallas with their 2 sons. As a way to get out of the house and also secure a better job, Louise enrolled at Southern Methodist University School of Law, taking night classes while Greer took care of the boys. Louise was the only woman in the graduating law class of 1952, and following graduation was told there were few, if any, prospects for employment. No law firms in Dallas would hire women attorneys.
SMU Employment Bureau didn't even send me out because they said it would be unkind for me to go to these law firms and be turned down one after another.
For 2 years, she practiced law from her home with Greer, also an attorney. Then, in 1954, she got a call from Dallas District Court Judge Sarah Hughes.
Go down to see Henry Wade. He may have an opening. So I got myself fixed up and went down, and he hired me. He told me a year later that the only reason he hired me, he figured I would fall flat on my face, and he wouldn't have to listen to Sarah Hughes anymore. He didn't realize that a woman could do the job.
A year later, she was assigned to the county criminal court. Her appointment made headlines as the first woman prosecutor in Dallas County. But it was her dedication to see that all women be equal with men under Texas law that led her to work on what would later be known as the Marital Property Act of 1967.
Texas had particularly bad discriminatory laws concerning married women. When a woman married, she lost all the control of the property, even the property she had at the beginning of marriage. The husband and wife were one, and he was the one.
Directing a task force of attorneys, Louise would take a major part in revising the marital property laws.
Now, in my ignorance, I thought this could be done, a weekend, we could straighten all this out. Was I ever wrong? It took 2 years with the best legal minds in Texas. We went through 7 drafts before we finally got all these laws working like a fine Swiss watch.
The revised marital property laws went into effect on January 1st, 1968. Withstanding numerous challenges, the laws also helped facilitate the passage of the Equal Rights Amendment to the Texas Constitution.
Strangely enough, these laws worked so well that 5 years later, the Equal Rights Amendment was made a part of the Constitution and had no problem. And none of this has been declared unconstitutional. So we're very proud of what we did in one session of the legislature.
The State Bar honored Louise with its highest award for her work on the Marital Property Act. Then, almost immediately after its passage, Louise began working on an even more monumental task, one that would be known as the Texas Family Code.
The president of the state bar, after we got this going, called me and said, look, you've done this job on marital property. Why don't you take on the rest of the family code? And being ado Annie, I said yes.
Completed by 1979, the Texas Family Code was the first fully codified set of family laws in the world, streamlining marriage, family, and divorce laws that had been scattered in over 50 volumes of law books. The Texas Family Code took more than 12 years to complete. In the meantime, Louise continued to raise a family of 3 boys with Greer and practice law. Over the years, her efforts on behalf of women's rights and family law reform have given her the title the Mother of Family Law, and the Louise Raggio Endowed Lecture Series in Women's Studies was created at Southern Methodist University in 1997 in her honor.
In the past, the lecture series have been mostly male, and the students did not have the opportunity to see really achieving, articulate women leaders. And that is the purpose of the lecture series, to bring women here to meet with the students.
Although modest about all the awards and accolades she has received, her hard work and accomplishments for equality and legal reform have afforded both women and men the opportunity to make choices.
I'm certainly less impressed than other people. I've just done what needed to be done, and I didn't plan any of it. I'm frankly surprised at all the accolades and the awards and everything that I get. And I'd like to sort of pass the torch that I've been carrying for about 50 years, pass it on to each one of you, and encourage you to figure out what you can do to make this a better country. And bless you on your way. Thank you very much for this great honor. I was just lucky in being able to accomplish what we did in the Marital Property Act. But you don't have to be successful in order to have moved the problem along. I tell students that there are opportunities out there. You don't have to be smart, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be beautiful. You just have to see something that needs to be done and then do it.